Hi everyone, I'm Agrippina, but you can call me Hex. I wanted to show you another Stash Buster project that I was working on. I did a Ursula Disneybound a couple of years ago now. It was pre-pandemic for Villains Day at the park. If you've never heard of Villains Day or done Villains Day, it's similar to Dapper Day in that it's not like an official Disney event. But it's kind of organized over social media and people get together and they dress up and it's a lot of fun. So if you wanted to look more into that, you could look up Villains Day or Villains Mistress on Instagram. But I had done it a couple years ago. I really liked it at the time. I didn't necessarily have time to completely do a whole new look, but at the same time, I didn't want to necessarily wear the exact same thing over again. And I know this is a big controversy in cosplay and bounding and all of these things, is that, you know, the repeating of looks. And I'm not anti-repeating of looks. I appreciate it. I get it. I think that it is very important that we do kind of repeat our looks. Like, we're spending a lot of time, a lot of money making something, putting together an outfit, putting together a cosplay, and then it's like, oh, you posted your one picture on Instagram, it can never see daylight again. And I just think that's really toxic, and it goes back to like our ideas of fast fashion and that, you know, our clothing is consumable and disposable, and it's just really wasteful to me. So it's not that I don't like repeating looks, it's more that I wasn't 100% about the look that I had the last time. It was really cute, I liked it, but I feel looking back it was a little prim and proper for Ursula. You know, if you're going to go as a villain, it shouldn't be so cute. So I decided to completely redo it, and just to kind of show you what I was thinking, where I was going, I'm going to show you the dress so you can see what I did before and why I felt like I needed to change it. So here you can see the last Ursula bound. It's very cute, very prim and proper with the little cardigan and the little fascinator. But really, you know, aside from the purse with Flotsam and Jetsam, do you really know that that's Ursula? So even though it was cute, I needed to change it up. I was really happy with the jewelry that I had made, but I think that the styling overall was just a little too subdued. So here's the dress that I had made last time. It's just some poly satin that I got from like Joann or something. It's a circle skirt. Here is the purse that I had made. Again, this actually the Flotsam and Jetsam were just scrap that I had in my pile. They're kind of like a metallic denim that I painted and cut out. I was really proud of this dress though, because you see these pockets, they are zippered pockets. So the idea was that I could wear these to a theme park, on roller coasters or whatever, and I wouldn't need a purse or a backpack. I could just keep my phone in there and it wouldn't fall out. So if I did the zippered pockets, why did I spend all of this time making this purse? I don't know. Obviously, I didn't know at the time either, because I really just tacked these on really loosely. I think I even knew when I made this that this wasn't going to be the final version of this outfit. So I'm going to take this off because I don't want to have a purse this time. I'm going to take advantage of the pockets that I spent all of that time making. Like, for reals, you guys, putting invisible zippers in pockets is not super easy. It's not fun. So then this way I won't have to like carry anything around. So I think what I'm going to do is put this on my skirt, kind of 1950s poodle skirt style. So all I really need to do right now is figure out where I want them, how I want them. I had them kind of overlapping before. Do I like that? Do I want them facing each other? I think I kind of liked this because it gave that sense, like in the movie, you know, when their faces come together and their eyes glow. So I kind of decided to go with that kind of a vibe for placing them on my skirt. So now that I have them kind of where I want them, I just needed to pin them down. I'm going to sew them in place onto my skirt. And then once those are tacked down, the skirt portion will be done. I also switched out the bodice of the dress. Originally it had a little spaghetti strap kind of deal going on, but then I felt like I needed to wear a cardigan over it because it would show my bra straps, so I just switched it out. I ended up using the Rita blouse from Charm Patterns. If you're a fan of Gertie, you probably already know what that is. I didn't really get any footage of that, but if you are interested in how to turn the Rita blouse into a dress, put something in the comments and I will make another video. Since I decided to just use the same jewelry again, I just needed to work on a new headpiece because I wasn't really feeling that little fascinator. I found these flowers in my stash and a sand dollar that I had painted gold. I was kind of trying to get the vibe of that crown that she wears toward the end of the movie. So I found a bunch of seashells in my stash, just trying to find some that were kind of a similar size to give me a nice shape. I had kind of gone back and forth with what else I wanted to do, like if I wanted to try to do spiky bits or not. But in the end, I decided to just kind of go with what I had there and just do the 3 seashells. Someone had told me that the 3 seashells kind of gave a Hidden Mickey vibe, so I did kind of like that. I just painted these. I wasn't super precious about it, really just glop that gold paint on. You know, with stuff like this, people aren't going to come up super close and really like look at the details. It's really just about what is the vibe that it's giving off, you know. Does it look good from a distance? Will it photograph all right? You really don't need to be super perfect about this. I just put a thick glop on so I could make sure that it was basically well covered. I wasn't super concerned really about anything else, just making sure that it was obviously a seashell and obviously gold from a distance. That's all I was really concerned about right there. When it comes to making these flowered hair combs, I don't get super fancy with it. I really just get the super cheapy combs that you could get like at Walgreens or the dollar store or whatever. And then my flowers, I cut them with a little bit of a longer stem. You can see there, it almost is the entire length of the comb, just so that I have enough to grab onto. And then it's really just a matter of wrapping the wire around and around and securing it in place. I don't glue it or do anything permanent because, you know, I change my mind a lot. I might decide I like these flowers in a different configuration later, or, you know, maybe I want to change the color up or something like that. So I just use the wire and tuck it in and wrap it around. So it's secure. It's definitely secure enough for me to go wear and do things on, but at the same time, it's not 100% permanent, which is fine. The other nice thing too is when I'm doing that, I can play around with how I want the flowers, the angles. Do I want, you know, how full do I want it to look, or do I want it to be kind of more subdued? But that's basically what I do, is just wrap it around and around until I feel like that they're secure enough. And then I just tuck in the end of the wire. Now that the seashells are dry, I just need to create a base for them that will allow me to attach them to a hair comb. So I just pulled some craft felt out of my stash. Again, this is a total stash buster project. That's why it's all jagged, because I've used it for a million other things before. just traced out the basic shape of the sand dollar, and I'm going to cut that out so that that's going to become the base that will get attached to the comb. So just a quick little last minute check, make sure that everything kind of fits the way I expect it to, make sure the placement is where I want it before I go ahead and break out the hot glue gun and start gluing everything down. So I just break out my regular crafting glue gun and just glop everything on, make sure it's kind of spreads around while it's still warm, so it has a nice even distribution without those big gloppy bumps on it. And then once I'm pretty happy with that, I can just trim off any weird edges that are hanging off of the end, and then I can put the other smaller seashells on there. Again, just super big clops of hot glue, like nothing fancy. I know like a lot of people always tell me like, oh, it looks so good, and I'm like, you have no idea. This is literally just, you know, metric tons of craft glue holding this all together. Craft, you know, hot glue and a prayer, right? So once I kind of get everything where I want it and it is secure enough, again, so much hot glue on there. Holding it down until it reaches room temperature so I know that it won't move around again. And then I'm going to put wire secured to the felt here. That way I will have wire that I can then attach to the comb, and that way it'll be a base. So I came back through and just really wanted to get a nice big coverage on this piece of felt to make sure that I did have a broad enough base of wire to kind of keep it standing up. And then once I did this, that's when I realized I wanted to sew this down to make sure that it was really secure. And I probably should have sewn it down before I glued it. So I actually have so much footage of me fighting with this stupid needle and thread on this glued down felt because I got hot glue crazy a little bit too early. But you know what? We can just skip this. So one eternity later, I had it all sewn down. I put an extra couple of dots of glue just to help it stay secure. And so now I'm going to use the tails of that wire to wrap around the comb, and then that way I can use this in my hair. Have it, the finished seashell hairpiece. And now it was time for putting it all together, my kind of proof of concept late night, the night before Villain's Day. Nothing like leaving things till the literal last second. but it worked out. Luckily for me, it looked cute. It was just a matter of figuring out how I wanted to style my hair around it. All in all, super pleased with how my Villains Day Ursula Bound turned out. The hair, the styling, everything was so much more Ursula. If you're looking at last year, it feels kind of like night and day. Like, this new Ursula was just so much more vibrant and so much more like how I feel her personality should have come across. Just had a great time doing this and prancing around the park, being completely ridiculous in this outfit. So Villains Day was a lot of fun. I'm really glad that I did it. I'm very happy with how my new Ursula Bound came out. And I'm very happy with the fact that I didn't have to completely start from scratch. And again, because it was a Scrapbuster project, I spent $0 on remaking that dress. Everything new that I incorporated into that outfit was from my stash, completely $0 project, if we don't count what I spent before. But I think it really turned out. And I was originally upset that I couldn't get this headpiece to work as like one piece. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm really kind of glad that it didn't, because now I have like a cute little like 3-in-1. Like, I can do this again, or I can wear the seashell separately or just the flowers separately. And I do really like how these flowers turned out. Like, I'm gonna have to figure out an excuse to wear these. So if you see me rolling up with this flowers in my hair, you know why. But I hope that you enjoyed kind of this behind the scenes of my process. And hey, I kind of hope to see you next year at Villains Day too. Let me know what your ideas are for some bounds and I can help you out. Thanks for watching. Bye.